Before this video starts, do I look tired? Do I look gray? Do I have bags under my eyes? And is my t-shirt possibly wrinkly? The answer to all that is...
absolutely.
In case you were wondering, the 8 hours before recording this video, I was grading papers. So my mental brain juice was just a little dry. For those of you new to this channel, I promise I am usually semi-presentable.
If there's one craft that I can't stand compared to all other crafts, it has got to be sewing. I mean, when SaltEcrafter tries to sew, you get to poke your finger, you have to thread the needle, you have to try and find a way to make something so repetitive and tedious into something interesting. I mean, of course it's cool to have a finished product, but sometimes it's not the journey that counts. Sometimes the destination is also mediocre. And so since I absolutely despise sewing, I figured there's nothing more salty than actually reviewing 2 sewing kits. It's gonna be a very salty day today. The first kit we're going to look at is one that I bought from the dollar store here called the Dollarama, but they do charge $3. And the next one is by a really popular brand, Creativity for Kids, which, believe it or not, is by Faber Castell, the same company that does those really amazing drawing and coloring pencils. I have bad experience with Faber Castell because last time I bought a kit from them, it was an absolute disaster. They just had no idea how to make something as a kit. It was just such a disaster. So apparently, after I did my review, someone rescanned the QR code, went to the site, they had changed it. We changed the world one salt grain at a time. So the reason I went for this kit is because it was purchasable on Amazon. And when I asked in the community tab, where do you guys plan to buy your holiday gift? Many of you said Amazon. So this one cost me $15 Canadian plus $5 shipping. When I checked on the Amazon.com, it was about $25. So again, it's more expensive for you guys for some reason. So let's see if the sock plushie in there is worth $25 versus the dollar store quality one. Let's do the doing. Normally shoutouts are on Friday, but it's the holiday season. Let's give a little more shoutouts. They go to Zenon Plays Gacha, who made this cute little animation.
Absolute box of pile of garbagey trash.
That one child Nat who also made an animation. I am stumped at how talented you grains are.
Useless piece of junk.
Actually, I still kind of need it. Remember, if you want a shout out in my normally Friday videos, don't forget to hashtag Nerdification Squad in the comment section below within the first 45 minutes of a video's release, or hashtag NerdECrafter on Instagram or Twitter anytime with any of your creations. Alright, so let's start with the dollar store one, which is Sew Your Own Sock Horse. I'm pretty sure they're completely disregarding the fact that this horse identifies as a zebra. So just call a zebra. And by the way, the packaging on this is so weird because you can see over here that the box itself is not big enough for what they put inside, so it's bulging right over here. I could see it better. So let's do the opening. Here's what we get inside. A pair of gray and black socks. Definitely not for my big feet. We have both black and white thread, some buttons and a needle, a birth certificate in both French and English, a bag of stuffing, and a 40-step instruction sheet, which is colored. I'm actually really impressed that this is from the dollar store. I mean, I've seen, let's just mention it right now, LaurDIY kits that seemed like dollar store quality, and we got about the same amount of items. So I'm just saying, so far the dollar store has impressed me, especially with the colored instructions. All right, time to see what we get in the $20 kit. So here's what we get inside. A pack of socks with silica gel. Not sure if there's something I should know about these socks. Are they just gonna go moist on me for no reason? And the size is about the same size as the ones from the dollar store. But they are much thicker, I have to admit that. Thread in orange and black. 2 buttons. Ribbon. Scissors. Not for sausage fingers. And oh, by the way, probably shouldn't wave this at you guys. The age group for this is from 7 to 97. I feel like whoever's managing Faber Castell has no idea what's cool anymore. And I think those age gaps used to be really cool in like the 90s. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't think that many companies do from 9 to 99. Whereas the dollar store kit says 5 years old and up. Because, you know, if you're 98, forget it. There's no craft kits for you out there. Just sit there and watch the 97-year-olds play with this. I'm sorry, this is terrible. So we also get the needle and some push pins. I think that's what they're called. And I don't know what this thing is. I guess we'll figure out hopefully with the instructions. My guess is kitty ear stickers and some suction stuffing. So far, we are definitely getting a lot more in the Faber Castell kit. But again, these are things that you can definitely find at the dollar store. Oh, and I forgot to show you the instructions, which are not colored, but we do get patterns, I believe. There's just no way to make me dislike sewing more than make me sew even more. So I'm going to start with the dollar store one, and if you ever want to pause, hang on, my face is going to disappear. You can definitely pause, take a look at the instructions, and see if this is something that you would be interested in, or if the instructions are completely off. You can let me know in the comment section below, and I'm coming back now. By the way, I really just want to tell you, Grains, how much I love you, because we have the same sense of humor. When I was saying you guys keep telling me I did it wrong, and then I see all the comment section below where you guys are trolling me and writing things in like lowercase and higher capitals, and you're like, you did it wrong, Jackie, and it made me laugh so much. We're all dorks and we're all trolls. So I just wanted to say thank you for brightening my day. That's enough feelings. Now let's get doing.
I was immediately intimidated by the instructions because, 40 steps, that's a lot of steps. But then some of the steps after you finished it, it was just like, well, now you have the arms. Now you have the legs. So it really wasn't an issue at all. When it comes to threading the needle, it really did not want to have it. It was like,
No, I will not be threaded.
So I had to use a skill that I had learned from one of these Scholastic kits, and I divided the thread into separate flosses. Other than that, putting that cute little horsey zebra cow thing together wasn't as difficult as I anticipated, especially things didn't fall apart, things didn't tear. I was like, that's odd. Usually I should be pretty frustrated by now, but I wasn't. And that was a new feeling for both me and SaltEcrafter.
It's wonky, it's not well sewn, and I am absolutely in love with it. Who would have thought a $1 store craft kit would impress me way more than the $20 LaurDIY also plushie kit? Even though it's so wonky, I feel a sense of accomplishment. It's kept me busy for a good couple of hours because I really suck at sewing. And I learned a couple of skills on how to use a sock to make a horse plushie. So if I wanted to make more horse plushies, or zebras in this case, I could easily just go buy socks at the dollar store and continue. How did this impress me more than I anticipated? And interestingly enough, look at this. This little dude, not perfect, but it's sitting down on its own. Again, unlike the LaurDIY kit, where the plushie was wonky and did not stand at all. And hang on, another big difference. We have all of this stuffing left. So if I wanted to go pick up again socks, I could probably make 3 more at least plushies like this one. Unlike the LaurDIY kit, where we didn't even have enough stuffing for one of the plushies in the kit. Why must YouTubers disappoint me? Of course, it's not as stable, but all you have to do is just be like, hey, horsey, sit down, boy, and it's sitting down. I think I'm gonna name it Cow. Bonus points if you know the reference. And a lot of you know the reference when I say dishonor on you, dishonor on your cow. All right, so we do have another kit to compare to, which is the Fancy Kit by Faber Castell, which is creativity for kids. I've never been so proud of a plushie because I hate sewing so much, right? Cow has spoken. Oh, and for some interesting reason, the piece that's left looks like a mask. So I figure if we really wanted to be geeks right now, we could just put a mask around its mouth. Sit, boy.
Although both kits are working on sock plushies, they couldn't be more different than each other. One of them really worked with just cutting things in the right way, and the other one really had to do with following a very specific pattern in a very specific way. And by the way, look at that threading. That was so smexy. What I learned to appreciate is that this pattern was so spot on. So following this pattern really gave you the most efficient way to sew this kitty together. And it made it so that it was really easy, and I actually didn't hate myself, which is good. because this is sewing. The process is always the same. Sew along the lines, turn it around, stuff it, and then attach it. Both of these kits kept me busy for a few hours, which needless to say I did not do in one sitting nor in one day, because I think my poor little sewing brain would have probably leaked a little more juice, and we don't want that messy juice all over the place. And yeah, I totally feel like by doing both of these kits, I learned two completely different skill sets for two completely different kinds of animal sock plushies.
So unfortunately, I don't seem to have gotten the stickers for the nose, so, you know, they didn't include extras or a piece of sticker felt that we can cut out from. They really did give us just the two pieces that we could use, and the third one for the nose, nowhere to be found. Where did it go? So I'm going to stitch the nose on and then go ahead and put the sticker ears and finish it off. All right, here it is. Poorly sewn, absolutely wonky, and I am still in love. I feel a sense of accomplishment. Oh, wait, hang on. Kaneki! Yeah, that was my moment of dorking up. Okay, that's enough. Join me over there and let's have a chat, because SaltEcrafter is really, really upset right now. Time to find out, are these kits worth it? If you're new to SaltEcrafter, we love to start with the cons here, because there's the word salt in front of crafter, which means we're salty first. Holy carp. SaltEcrafter right now is completely torn because I've never had such a short list of cons. Let's start with the dollar store. The first con. When it comes to the instructions, it assumes you know the basics of sewing, so it doesn't give you any kind of techniques or indication of how you should do it. This kit is not easy to find, so when I was at the dollar store, I was just browsing around for completely other things, and this one popped up. I'm like, I'm gonna take it. And it really was the only one. So if you do find it, it's worth grabbing. On the box, it says 5 years old plus. I definitely would not give this kit to a 5-year-old because the needle is not blunt, and also they don't necessarily have the dexterity just yet to be able to use it. So I would highly recommend this for 8 and up, but definitely not 5. Believe it or not, that's the only cons I have. On to the pros. The kit is really complete. We had extra stuffing, we had the needles, we had extra thread. It really had everything you need to make our little horse. Can't say the same for some other YouTuber products. The instructions were in color. That is a rarity among a lot of craft kits. So to have colored pictures, instructions, Salty approved. What I really enjoyed is that this kit did absolutely nothing for you. You had the material, you had the instructions, now figure it out. The instructions are clear enough for you to do the DIY yourself. On to my fourth pro, a sense of accomplishment. Because it didn't hold our hands and make things for us, I can't stand sewing. But the fact that I made this, no matter how badly sewn it is, there was this sense of accomplishment. Extra stuffing! Thank you for extra material. We did not run out of the thing I needed to finish a project. Playability. One of the most important things when it comes to a craft kit, in addition of course to having all the materials, it did have playability. I was there for a couple of hours trying to sew a little horse. As an adult, it took me hours. Imagine someone who has less experience. Mind you, probably they're still better than I am. And the last pro for this kit, it's at the dollar store. I usually start with low expectations, but the fact that this was from the dollar store, it exceeded my expectation. How is a dollar store product better than craft kits I've actually paid $20 to $30 for? So I'm going to give a rating for this kit, and then stay tuned for the Faber Castell Creativity for Kids kit. So overall, I would give this dollar store kit 9.5 on 10 dorks. If you're looking for a stocking stuffer, mind you, it's pretty big, I would not miss the opportunity to pick this one up. Now on to the Faber Castell Creativity for Kids kit. The first con, the felt sticker was missing. What could have been good if they actually just gave us a sheet and let us pick the form that we wanted things to be. What if I wanted the ears to be oval? Obviously I could cut them, but I think just like everything else that they gave us in order for us to make it ourselves, just give us a sticker sheet and let us cut our own shapes at that point. The price tag. The only reason I'm mentioning the price tag is because I got another sock plushie kit at the dollar store. So the fact that one was $3.50 and the other one was $20 does play a factor in the rating. That goes without saying. Believe it or not, those are the only two cons I have. On to the pros. The instructions are extremely clear. When I first looked at the instructions, I felt just a little overwhelmed because I don't like sewing. But the second that I started reading the lines, it was so clear. There was no way for me to mess it up. Oh my god, that little threading thing, where was this my whole life? How did I not know that such a thing existed? It's because I don't dabble in sewing. So obviously, I didn't know. But yeah, they added it in there, so thank you for that. The pattern, simple, straightforward. They told you exactly where to position it on the sock to get the exact stitching that you would need for the instructions. Going into this, I figured I would hurt myself, but the needle is blunt. So no matter how many times I poked myself with it unwillingly, I didn't get hurt. What I really enjoyed in addition to this kit as the other one is that I learned a skill. I was able to know how patterns work, what pieces go with other pieces, and just how to put things together. In addition to learning about patterns, I learned 2 different kinds of stitching techniques. That's pretty helpful if you're learning a technique that you can transfer to other things. These are sock plushies. If I wanted to pick up more socks at the dollar store, I have a skill now that I can transfer and redo and remake. Extra stuffing. We have enough to make at least another 2 of these. In addition to the other one, I have enough to make probably 3 more horses. This box had everything, down to the scissors. Not the best quality scissors, but it had the scissors, the little pin, the needle, the stickers, the thready thing. So if you were looking for something that you knew if you would give it, it would have everything, this is it. Whereas when it comes to the horse one, we didn't have the thing to thread, and it also assumed that you had some basic techniques. So overall, the Faber Castell Creativity for Kids kit, I would give it a 9 on 10 dorks. The only reason I removed the half point is simply because of the price difference compared to the dollar store one. Maybe if I didn't have the dollar store one, I would have given it a 9.5. But because we have the option of a cheaper version versus a more expensive version, you'll favor the one that is exactly the same quality, but of course a lot, lighter in the pocket. Did these kits make me love sewing? The answer is absolutely not, but I didn't hate myself, which is a good thing. If you are looking for something that is sewing related or that you want to pick up for sewing and just give it a try, I could recommend both of these. So I'll leave the information for them in the description box below if it's something that you're interested. Of course, not sponsored because companies are afraid of me. If you want to watch a salty video, because this one was just a little too sweet, check it up here. And if you want to watch a crafting video, make sure you check it out down here. Until then, I will see you grains in the next video.